Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Brandon for VPNFTW, and we're back with another VPN comparison in 2017, and I'm super excited to bring you guys AirVPN versus blackVPN versus NordVPN. So let's not waste any time, and let's hop right into it. So let's start with the privacy of these companies. Are these companies taking your privacy serious, or are they logging your data? Now, starting with AirVPN. Now, according to AirVPN's website, there is no monitoring nor logging of your online activities. So right off the bat, AirVPN lets you know that they are not keeping any logs of your data. Now, moving on to blackVPN. Now, according to blackVPN's website, there are no logs, no traffic logs, no connection logs, no DNS logs. We never log your internet activity or real IP address. We do keep your email address and payment history. So right there, blackVPN lets you know that they are not keeping any logs on your online activity. Now, moving on to NordVPN. Now, according to NordVPN's privacy policy, we have a strict no log policy when it comes to seeing user activity online. NordVPN does log server performance to give you the best possible recommendations. So all three of these VPNs right here are not keeping any kind of logs, and they are keeping your information safe. Now, moving on to the encryption. Now, if you guys are not too familiar with encryption, I'll go ahead and try to make this really easy for you guys. Now, starting with AirVPN. Now, by default, AirVPN uses AES 256 CBC HMAC SHA-1 with a 4096-bit RSA key. Now, if all that sounds like a ton of gibberish to you guys, that is actually a highly secure encryption method, and AirVPN is actually the only VPN on this list to actually employ perfect forward secrecy. Now, if you guys are not familiar with perfect forward secrecy, that actually regenerates the encryption keys every 15 or 60 minutes depending on their settings. So that means that even if AirVPN's encryption keys were compromised, it would only decrypt the last 15 to 60 minutes of traffic depending on which server, because the keys are constantly renewed. So perfect forward secrecy is extremely secure to have employed, and AirVPN is the only VPN that employs that encryption technique. Now, moving on to blackVPN. Now, by default, blackVPN uses AES 256 with a 4096-bit RSA key. Now, moving on to NordVPN. Now, by default, NordVPN uses AES 256 CBC with a 2046-bit RSA key. Now, if you guys are not too familiar with encryption and you guys are wondering if a 2048-bit RSA key is secure compared to a 4096-bit RSA key, these are all secure encryption methods, and you guys do not need to worry at all. Now, moving on to the jurisdiction of these companies. Are these companies located within the 14 Eyes spying program? Now, AirVPN is operated out of the jurisdiction of Italy, blackVPN is operated out of the jurisdiction of Hong Kong, and NordVPN is operated out of the jurisdiction of Panama. So all three of these VPNs right here are run in great countries and out of the 14 Eyes spying program. Now, moving on to locations. How many countries can you connect to on this VPN? Now, NordVPN comes in at the top of this list, offering over 58 different countries you can connect to. Now, both AirVPN and blackVPN come in on the lower side of this list, only offering 16 different countries that you want to connect to. But one thing that I want to point out here with the locations is that AirVPN and blackVPN only use dedicated servers. NordVPN use what are called shared servers as well, which can be controversial with your privacy and security. So AirVPN and blackVPN are taking privacy extremely seriously, only using dedicated servers that they own the bare metal to and everything. NordVPN is using shared servers in some countries, because they do have something like over 753 servers, which is completely unrealistic when AirVPN and blackVPN have something like over 50 to 80 servers. Just to mention, so AirVPN and blackVPN are taking privacy extremely seriously. AirVPN even goes as far as to ensure that the data center that they use does not log user data. So AirVPN goes the extra mile, as well as blackVPN. So that is not to say that NordVPN is insecure in any means. That is just something that is within controversy. Now, moving on to the features. How many simultaneous connections does the VPN offer? Now, NordVPN comes in at the top of this list, offering 6 devices connected at one time. Now, both Air and blackVPN come in on the lower side of this list, offering 3 devices that you guys can have connected at one time. Now, moving on to device support. Now, all 3 of these VPNs right here support major devices. They support Mac, they support Windows, they support Linux, they support Android, they support iOS, they support routers, they support a multitude of devices. So all 3 of these VPNs right here will support any device you throw at it. Now, moving on. Now, do these VPNs offer shared or dedicated IP addresses? Now, both AirVPN and blackVPN only offer shared IP addresses. Now, NordVPN offers both shared and dedicated IP addresses, but the dedicated IP addresses do cost a couple of extra bucks. Now, moving on. Now, do these VPNs offer a free proxy? Now, both AirVPN and blackVPN offer no free proxy, but NordVPN offers a list of over 3,000 free high-quality proxies that they keep updated, and there are just tons of different types of proxies that they offer. Now moving on, now do these VPNs offer a dedicated DNS? Now if you guys are unsure as to why you would want this, here is a picture of what a DNS leak looks like. And if you guys can see, a DNS leak is pretty critical. So all three of these VPNs right here do offer a dedicated DNS to ensure that there are no DNS leaks. Now moving on, now do these VPNs offer P2P and BitTorrent on their server? Now all three of these VPNs offer BitTorrent and P2P on select servers that are optimized for it. Now moving on, now are there any additional features that these VPNs offer? Now both Air and NordVPN offer a Tor over VPN solution. Now this actually allows you to go ahead and connect to Tor before you go ahead and connect to the VPN. That way the VPN never actually gets your real IP address. And on top of that, NordVPN also offers double encryption servers. So that means that when you connect, it'll go ahead and run your connection over a VPN twice, doubling the encryption. Personally, I think the double encryption is kind of a gimmick, but I think the Tor over VPN is a great solution. Now moving on to payment methods accepted. Now you can pay for AirVPN with a credit card, PayPal, anonymous Bitcoin, or a multitude of cryptocurrencies. They accept absolutely tons of them. Now moving on to blackVPN, you can pay for blackVPN with PayPal, anonymous Bitcoin, or Payment Wall. And if you guys are not familiar with Payment Wall, it's actually an international payment processor that has over 200 different ways to process your payments. So if you guys are maybe located in somewhere of an obscure country or want to pay a different way, Payment Wall is a great service to do that. Now moving on to NordVPN, you can pay for NordVPN with a credit card, PayPal, anonymous Bitcoin, Payment Wall as well. Now moving on to the price of these VPNs, what we are all truly wondering. Now starting with AirVPN. Now AirVPN only takes payments in euros. So this right now is the current currency conversion from euros to US dollar. Now AirVPN actually offers a day plan for $1.10. They offer a monthly plan at $7.50. They offer a 3-month plan at $16. They offer a 6-month plan at $32, and they offer a yearly plan at $58. Now moving on to NordVPN. Now NordVPN offers a monthly plan at a bit of a steeper price at $11.95 per month. They offer their 6-month plan at $42. They offer their 1-year plan at $69. And NordVPN just started offering their 2-year plan for $96 every 2 years. Now moving on to blackVPN. Now blackVPN has a couple of different packages that make it a little bit confusing, and they also only take payment in euros. So this is also the current currency conversion from euros to US dollar. Now if you guys want to get the package that includes everything, the global package, that starts at $10.15 per month, $29 for 3 months, and $106 per year. So blackVPN only offers a monthly plan, a 3-month plan, and a yearly plan. Now moving on to their privacy UK and US packages. These are all different packages right here, but these 3 packages that you can get differently start at $5.34 per month, $14 for a 3-month plan, and $52.35 for a yearly plan. Now moving on to their TV package. Now they offer a TV package at $8 per month, $21.40 per 3 months, and $80 per year. So AirVPN comes in at the lowest price, with blackVPN being significantly higher and NordVPN just being slightly a bit higher than blackVPN. So AirVPN comes in at the lowest price. Now, which VPN is right for you? Now, this is a tough question as it depends on what you're looking for. Are you guys looking for high security, or are you guys looking for a lot of countries to connect to? So personally, I would recommend AirVPN. Starting off, they have a very friendly price point. Not to mention, their privacy is extremely secure. They are the only VPN on this list to use perfect forward secrecy. They're actually only one of the very few VPNs to actually employ perfect forward secrecy. And as we mentioned earlier, they actually ensure that their data centers do not log. So AirVPN actually goes the extra mile to ensure top security. They only run dedicated servers on top of that. But AirVPN may not be optimal for everybody. If you guys are looking for a large list of countries to connect to, NordVPN may be what you're looking for. And blackVPN is also a great VPN. They also have a different list of countries that you guys can connect to. So all 3 of these VPNs right here are great for different needs. But at the end of the day, I would recommend both AirVPN and blackVPN simply due to the way that they handle privacy and security with their dedicated servers. But I would personally prefer AirVPN because it has a couple more great features and an even friendlier price point. Now, links for all 3 of these VPNs will be in the description below, but that concludes the AirVPN versus blackVPN versus NordVPN comparison. So hope you guys enjoyed this comparison. If you guys did, please give this a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to VPNFTW for more VPN comparisons and reviews just like this one. And if you guys want to see any specific VPNs compared, go ahead and throw them down in the comments below and we'll be sure to go ahead and take a look. But I hope you guys are all out there staying secure.